Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Dr. Shalonda Hassel. I am here today with our last live of the month of October for She Heals, She Rises for Domestic Violence Awareness Month. We are here today. Our theme today is Rising to Freedom, healing identity and purpose after abuse. And so I do have a guest speaker today. I'll be bringing her up in a second. But before I bring her up, I want everyone to take a minute to go on your pages or follow. I'm sorry, go on our pages and share the live on your page so that other people will be able to watch the live as well. I'm going to do that as well because I know for some reason StreamYard has not been sharing it on all of our platforms like it needs to. So let me make sure we are live on all of the pages we're supposed to be on. Oh, it looks like we are. Okay, cool. Works out. Let me make sure that this is public and not it is saying only private. Yeah, no, we can't have that. All right. Public on this. All righty. So I'm gonna go ahead on and get ready to bring up our guest for today. I'm excited about this young lady. She is a sister of mine, a friend of mine. I love her dearly. We do a lot of ministry together. She is the bomb.com in so many different areas. I love her. I love her transparency. I love the work that she does for the Lord. And it's really hard to find a lot of sisters that fall under, how can I say it, underneath what a real sister is, and especially a sister in Christ. So I'm excited about the young lady I have on today. It's hard to keep up with good sisters too, but when you meet a woman or you want to call a sister friend, whatever, I call her my sister, and you guys can have each other back. You guys can pray for each other. You guys can handle things together. You guys can make sure that things are handled when you're not there. I don't have no words because I know she got my back and I got hers. I'm just grateful to God for her being a part of my life and a part of ministry's life as well, because it's hard to even connect with some people when it's time to do ministry. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring up our guest for today, and we got some exciting questions on this panel today, and I'm excited to see what the Lord is going to use her to give you today. So let me bring Miss Dr. Courtney P. Hendrix up. Hey, sis.
Hey, y'all. Hey, grace and peace, everybody.
Yes. Okay. Let me make sure I get the comments up here so I'll be able to see if anybody comment. So did you share the live on your page?
Yes, ma'am. I just shared it.
Cool. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started because you know today a busy day for most anyway. Oh, you look so pretty with your little makeup on. I need to be down in Atlanta with you so you can be hooking me up. I can get mine done today.
You're beautiful naturally, so you don't need that.
You
No
absolutely,
filters needed. Hashtag.
and I love you for that. All right, so today I am honored to close out this month's She Heals, She Rises series with a powerful woman of faith, purpose, and healing, Dr. Courtney P. Hendrix. Not only is she a survivor, but she is a voice, a force, and a reminder that you can rise from everything the enemy tried to destroy. You ready, sis?
I'm ready. Let's go. Let's do it.
Let's go. Let's go. All right. Dr. Courtney, thank you for being here today. Can you begin by sharing a little about your journey, not just as a survivor, but as a woman who now walks in freedom and purpose?
Yes. Let me first say thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be on your platform. I do not take it for granted, Dr. Shalonda, regardless as to us being sisters, being very close friends, or what have you. I understand that people don't have to allow me to be a part of their platform, to be a part of their life, to be a part of their journey. And when people are nice, they don't have to be nice to Courtney, right? So I just want to say thank you for the opportunity to sow seeds of survival with
Mhm.
you today. I also want to give a shout out to Dasmine and also Pastor Geneva for the first two sessions, hands down. I don't know how I'm gonna follow behind both of them, but they were the bomb.com. But let's
Yes,
go
they
ahead and
were.
let's go ahead and jump on into it. People are so surprised when they find out that people have experienced domestic violence situations at a later age in life, right? Because you think like once you get to your 40s and 45 and this and that, just certain things that we don't deal with, certain things that we don't go through,
Mhm.
because we've already set a standard. In addition to the fact, I am a therapist. So um I didn't experience being in a domestic violence relationship until recently
Mhm.
within the last 3 years. So a lot of people think that domestic violence is only physical abuse, but it's not. It's so much more than that. It's verbal abuse, it's psychological abuse, it's sexual abuse, financial abuse, stalking, and
Mhm.
cyber stalking, right? Isolation and coercion. So I experienced the stalking and the cyber stalking, the psychological, emotional manipulation, and all of that. A lot
Mhm.
of the times we dismiss domestic violence if it is not physical abuse. But what we don't realize is emotional manipulation and stalking and things like that could really do more harm than the physical abuse aspect of things. Um, Depending on how you weigh it.
Mhm.
Most people, once they get out of that physical abuse relationship, what they do is they've escaped, right? The physical abuse. And then they work on the mental abuse. And it's in their mind, mentally, able to get through it because they've escaped it, versus when your domestic violence situation is the focus of it is the psychological abuse and the stalking. You
Mhm.
almost can never really get over stalking, right? Because you're trying to figure out, like, okay, you free from physical abuse, but with the stalking, like, is this man still following me? Like, is it a tracker on my car? What's really going on? And you know my story.
Mhm.
Those who are extremely close to me know my story, know that I had listening devices and cameras planted in and out throughout my house, and this stalking and all of this stuff that's going on.
Mhm.
Um, you really have to, a part of it with me is because I know I was on assignment, we have to learn how to separate the assignment
Mhm.
from what's taking place in reality, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so we have to sometimes go back to God and say, okay, God, what do you want me to do on this assignment? How do I pivot? How do I shift? Because we don't want to abort the assignment once we give God our yes, right? But we
Mhm.
have to be smart enough to say, okay, I've given God my yes, but my yes seems to be causing me harm now. I'm in
Mhm.
harm's way. Not only am I'm in harm's way, but my children were in harm's way.
Yeah.
So, I had to come to a place where there's only some things that God can do. You have to release the assignment into the hands of God. When
Mhm.
you've done all that you've been told to do, and that other person is not willing,
Mhm.
nor do they have the desire to do better, to be better, to change, to do something different.
Mhm.
Sometimes you just have to really be able to let go and move on and allow God to be God, right? Because we can't change people. We can't stop people from being who they are. We don't we can't present the answers for somebody else's life, right? So even once I got out of the situation and I've moved on, which to God be the glory, because some women don't make it out, right?
Mhm.
Especially when you're in relationships and you're dealing with people who have PTSD, right? So, um, even in that, moving on, um, helping other women realize, okay, sis, just because he's not physically abusing you does not mean that you're not in a domestic violence situation.
Right.
When you are in a situation that somebody's checking yo who, what, when, where, why every 30 minutes, that's a problem. When they're watching, when they tapped into your ring door cameras and things like that, and they're watching you leave, go out the house, come in the house, who's coming. Oh,
Mhm.
you said you weren't going out tonight, you had a headache, but at 7:17 p.m. you walked out the front door and you got in the truck and
Mhm.
like, that's
Yeah.
not cool. That's a red flag. Start
Mhm.
watching that. Dealing with narcissists and manipulative behaviors and things like that. At the end of the day, to my own self, you have to be true. And even though we're moving on and realizing those red flags and things like that early, which I did, to God be the glory, right? Which I did, it's still the after effect.
Yes.
Hello, somebody say, what about the after effect?
Mhm.
It's the after effect. So it's the always looking over your shoulder to see if somebody is
Mhm.
watching. And
Mhm.
so even as we go on, healing is like, it's like a never-ending journey. We
Mhm.
have to continue to do our work day by day, month by month. And even when we think that we are fully healed, sometimes some things will come along to trigger you. You have to get to the triggers. You have to get to the root to say, hey, what are we doing here? So, me helping somebody else, it also helps me. So, I don't know if I answered the question because I know I just
Well, you answered
spouted
it,
out a whole
you
lot of stuff.
explained on it, but that's fine. So hold on. Okay, thank you for sharing that, Dr. Courtney. Your journey is such a powerful reminder that survival isn't the end, transformation is, right?
Yes,
And I
yes,
love how you not only survived, but became a voice and vessel for other women to rise, because I know this is something that just recently happened with you. And then also, thank you for having the courage to even be able to speak on it today as well. Appreciate that, because a
amen.
lot of people are very quiet and won't say nothing, and still live in silence and still living um, hiding what's going on or hiding what happened, or they too embarrassed to let people know what happened. But a
Yes,
lot of people don't understand hiding and being silent is just making it worse for the next woman, especially if you walked away or you was able to survive it, because that demon is gonna leave where you left him and move on to the next person, when it could be prevented if you open your mouth and call 911, or do the different things you need to do to get him whether it be arrested, mental health, hospital, whatever. So being silent is just not cool. I know it's not easy for everybody to speak out about different things that, or any type of abuse, but at some point it's like, hey, do you want him to leave or her to leave? Because it's not only
yes,
women that go through this, from your situation to go somewhere else and do it to somebody else, right? No, we don't. So we want to kind of come out of the being silent treatment, because that's how the enemy works.
yeah, yeah. And it's
No.
the sad too, even in the silence, that you just have to look at even the when they're trying to isolate you. When
Mhm.
those are red flags. I think we fall so short with looking at the red flags when they don't want you to be around or exposed to the mother of their children alone or in a private place. What are you guys talking about? What did she say? What did things
Mhm.
like that. Um, but as you say, when you are not communicating, you are not standing up, you are not talking, you're not saying, hey, this is what's going on. I remember I talked to you, I'm like, sis, okay, am I crazy? But I think I'm in a domestic relationship. I'm like, this camera, this camera, houses, listen devices, this going on. And you was like, don't make me come down there.
Exactly. Those are my exact words. I know you laughed.
Right, right. I know you, but just imagine though, if for women who don't have the support
Yeah, that's so true.
or don't feel comfortable in their relationship and their sisterhoods. And when I say relationships, I'm talking about friendships, that you
Mhm.
really feel like you don't have anybody to talk to. Or I'll use myself for example, women who are already advocates, you're into mental health, you're into being a follower of Christ. And
Mhm.
women will get embarrassed, like, okay, I do this, I do that, I support this, I teach this, I counsel for this, that, and the other. So I could never let anybody know that I'm experiencing this or I'm going through this. Like you said, we have to open our mouths.
Yeah, so true. Okay, I'm gonna move on, sis, because you answering, you speaking, but you answering some of these questions. So hold on. All right. What did freedom look like for you in the beginning? Mentally, spiritually, or emotionally?
In the beginning, I would say that I didn't have freedom
Mhm.
in the beginning, even though I was out of the relationship and people would consider that as being freedom,
Mhm.
having freedom. I did not have freedom in the beginning because I was still being tormented in my mind
Yeah.
about the how did I deal with this or why did I deal with it. And any amount of time is too long. Any amount of time is too long. Once you realize it, once you recognize it, any amount of time is too long. And so, especially when you're in a relationship that you get out of, right? And then you go back into the relationship, hoping things have changed, hoping things have gotten better. You proclaim to have gotten the help that you need, and you come back worse than what you are when you left the
Mhm.
first time. And so mentally, um, I would say I started to abuse myself mentally because in my mind, every other day, it just plays me. I'm like, you shouldn't even did that. You shouldn't even put up with that. Shouldn't even been there that long. Should have just left it alone. So for what should have been a beginning to me was really not the beginning. It was almost a year, almost up until a year later, till I was like, you know what? You can't take on the responsibility of somebody else's behavior. So just recently have I really start walking into a place of the beginning of my freedom, understanding now mentally. And these are things I already know, but it's different when you're in the seat. Do you understand? It's easy for us to say it to somebody else and get somebody else the advice, but when you're sitting in the hot seat, the same advice I give to other women and give to other men, I now have to take it for myself and apply it. And so it was hard for me to apply that psychological component when I allow anger to set in, if that makes sense. And so I'm just really, to be honest, now in a place, you know, that I'm like, okay, I can take a deep breath.
Amen.
It took a long time. And I mean, I'm just gonna be honest because the thing is, for number one, we're overcome by our testimony, right? And number two, I need somebody to understand when you walk out of something, it's okay to not feel free all at once in the beginning of it because it's a process. So that's what I say. I'm in my beginning. I'm in my process of confirming, affirming, and validating that, hey, all of that psychotic behavior had nothing to do with you. It was about them, not you.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, that's good. All right, that's so beautiful and freeing to hear. I think a lot of women don't realize that freedom starts internally before it ever shows up
yes.
externally, right? Um, Thank you for helping us understand that freedom is a process and not just a moment, right? Okay, so
Yes.
next would be many women leave abuse physically, but still struggle mentally, right? What were some of the internal battles you had to overcome even after you were no longer in danger? That's why I was telling you to hold on because you was kind of rolled in. So I need you to go back.
Listen, my watch commander meter is all the way up now. I laugh at myself because I made that up. My watch commander meter is like all the way up. It's like do 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 do. I'm always like I'm for all intents and purposes. I am extremely watchful now of the motives of people, right? Not just men now, but anybody who attempts to want to be a part of my life. I'm extremely my watchman meter is always up now. So
Mhm.
I'm kind of learning to pull back because the first thing that I start to look at is, what is your motive? What's your motive? Why are you here? What do you need? What do you want? What's up? No, and I tell people this all the time. I'm a little curt. I'm a little rough around the edges. I'm from the west side of Chicago, born and raised, right? So I'm a little rough around the edges. I understand that. But I kind of started getting a little, okay, like, let me do my work. I had to pull out some of my books and start doing my own work because
Mhm.
the first thing that comes on my mind is, what is your motive?
Mhm.
What is your motive? Because not only did he have a motive, but the person who introduced him to me, they had a motive.
Mm.
I'm just gonna be honest. And if they see it, oh well,
Right.
they had a motive, and their motive was, you're good for him. You're good for you. You can benefit him. You can help him. You're a good look for him. You can do this for him. This it was all about what I could do for the other person. And it became repetitive when I would come into the presence of this person. So hindsight 2020, looking back, since you had a motive too, and your motive was to get me because what you thought I would be or do for him.
Mhm.
So kind of trying to navigate through having the wisdom to be watchful,
Mhm.
but at the same time not turning into an abuser myself psychologically, right? Because that's what I experienced. Because now I'm badgering or, on high alert with everybody
Mhm.
because now I'm looking at you like, what's your motive?
Yeah. It be
Right?
like.
Because come to find out your motive was to ride my coattail because you would be good for his ministry. What?
Mhm.
Excuse me, come again? You would be good to build up this and you would be good. I see you.
Mhm. You know
So,
what's crazy? Just listening to you say that. It's crazy how we are watchful for other people though in other situations, whether it be personal or business. But when it's involving love, we sometimes overlook being watchful and paying attention to the red flags because they be
yeah,
right there. They be right there, but we just
yeah,
be so blinded in the moment. And then, like you said a little earlier, being able to distinguish what what the plan is and what you're going through, or whatever this job is that God has put us, or not even job, a plan that He's put us in. Realizing that what we're going through is not only just for us to just be going through it, but also to come out of it to be able to testify and help other people process through this same thing or something similar to be able to tell their story at some point, right? uh,
yes.
Pain is always used for purpose, and a lot of people don't understand that. I heard a woman tell me a couple months back, I was talking to her, she was going through some stuff, and I was ministering to her, and I was explaining to her that God allows us to go through things. She just kept saying to me, "Well, I believe God allow everybody to go through everything they go through because I mean, none of us are perfect, and we all got to go through stuff anyway. And then we also got to watch how we treat people because that's why God allow us to go through stuff." And I was like, I'm not gonna sit here and say I agree with everything you're saying, but I do know that God do allow us to go through things on a ministry aspect because our pain is supposed to be our purpose in the end.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
if you
yeah,
understand
yeah,
that part. A lot of people
yes.
don't understand that part.
A lot
But
of people don't.
I want to
Yeah,
say, many people assume once the abuse ends, the healing begins. uh immediately. It doesn't. And a lot of times when they get out of it, it's just like, they'll jump right back into something. And sometimes it be the same old thing because they ain't even get themselves the opportunity to heal correctly or whatever the case may be. But you just gotta be careful. I want to move on to the next question. Um, let me see.
You do know I did that back to back.
I do. I do.
He
I
was like,
do.
"Oh, sis, he gone. Oh, he back."
Yeah. But you know what? I'm gonna keep it real with you. Real talk. I was married for 17 and a half years. In between that, I divorced, left, had no intentions on going back. He joined church, became an officer in the church, acting like, he's this changed man. I was believing in everything. And honey, I can tell you when I went back and married him the second time, I think I told the story last week or the week before. I think 2 days later, I was back downtown. How do I get a divorce? I'd have made another mistake that I should have never did, right? So I totally understand it. Like, girl. And especially when it's the same person. So I married him
It's
twice.
it's
So
it's it,
I
it's
totally
it's a faith walk. It's a lot of times too. It's for us, but like you said, it is for others.
understand.
And it does not always have anything to do with something that you have done.
Mhm,
Sometimes God will take you through a process to increase your faith and the faith of those who are watching you, right? Because we know Job was an upright man.
mhm,
Job did nothing wrong. Job lost everything that he had. But with his faith, he had to say, though you slay me, yet will I trust you. So when we're going through the process, God is increasing our faith in those moments to say, hey, will you yet trust me to walk you through this? Will you yet trust me to walk away from this? Will you yet trust me to give you what I have for you and not to go back into it? Will you yet trust me?
mhm,
So a lot of times we're dealing with our faith walk. Not only are we dealing with our faith walk, but we're dealing with our obedience.
mhm,
Because God would be like, all right, I got you out. Don't even go back up in there. But then you turn right back around and go back up in there. So, number one,
mhm.
that shows people like, but I left again. No, baby, partial obedience is still disobedience.
Yeah.
Huh? Delayed obedience is still disobedient, right?
Mhm,
So God wants to see if you're going to obey him. And he also wants to know if you have faith in him, if you have trust in him. But a lot of times we're trying to fix things ourselves. Okay, I think I can fix this. I think I can make this work. No, sis, I think you need to obey God. Huh?
mhm.
All right, let me digress.
But you really just gave some great language to silence a lot of battles that people continue to, deal with even afterwards and even while they are in it still. The transparency is going to actually help someone today. Trust me when I tell you. I'm gonna go to the comments. Somebody named Monique Story say, "Hey Courtney, hi Miss Monique. Thanks for joining us today." Sister Geneva, Pastor Geneva is on. Hey sis, how are you? She said a lot of unhealed bad people out there. That's so true. She said,
Yes.
because healing is not healed. You are absolutely right. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna go on to the next question. You are known for helping women rebuild identity
Yes.
and purpose, right? Why do you believe so many survivors struggle with knowing who they are after abuse?
I believe that a lot of women who have been in abusive relationships, whether it's physical abuse, verbal abuse, psychological, financial, the isolation, the stalking, or any of that, a lot of women tend to stay in it longer, right? Um, because I work in it and work through it, I thank God that I was able to see it. And I wasn't in it a long time, but nevertheless, I was there. But what I noticed is a lot of women stay in it for such a long time that they don't realize that they've made They've identified with their hurt. You've now made your hurt your security blanket.
Mhm.
So you don't know who you are absent of the hurt, absent of the demeaning, absent of the abuse. It's almost their identity is stuck in that of being a battered woman, the victim syndrome.
Mhm.
Um, they a lot of the times it's hard for them to cross over um to a victor mentality versus a victim,
Mhm.
because I see myself as everything he told me I was. He showed me my worth, and they believe it. And so when you begin to believe that that's who you are, it's hard to be ye transformed right by the renewing of your mind. So you have to begin to what? Do your work. You
Yes.
have to do the work to
Yes.
find out who are you outside this abusive relationship?
Mhm.
Are you outside of this marriage? Are you in your place of freedom? Do you truly believe that whom the Son sets free is free indeed? Have you garnered your liberty? When somebody still has you psychologically, you are not free. You are still bound. You are still chained. You are still weighed down. You do not have your liberty. So you have to begin to do your work. Get you some help. Get you a therapist. Get you a life coach. Get yourself around some women who can believe God for you when you can't believe God for yourself, right?
Yes.
Because there are seasons where the strong have to bear the infirmities of the weak. Today it might be my day, Dr. Shalonda, but who knows? In 365 days, it could be your day. Get yourself in an environment that's conducive to you learning your identity and who you truly were birthed to be. That's imperative.
Come on here, doctor.
I'm just saying.
Goodness. All right. Sister Geneva said it's actually some call themselves leading and bleed on at the same time. Step back and face it so God can fix it. Now, literally, when she typed this, you were saying almost the same exact thing. Go get to work and get yourself healed before you do what you do. And then she said,
Yes.
tell the truth, Dr. Courtney. Monique said, say that. Yes, Lord. And Geneva said, big facts. You all are absolutely correct. Okay. Um, this is so true, right? Abuse attacks identity, and sometimes the hardest part is learning who you are after the trauma, right? Thank you for reminding women that rebuilding identity is part of the healing journey, not a shameful one, right? Thank you,
Yes.
Karen. She said exactly. How you doing, Miss Karen? It's my mom's friend on here.
Hi, Miss Karen.
Yes. So moving right along. Sometimes we heal in silence. And I am a true witness of that because the last situation that I went through, I shut all the way down, right? And sometimes we heal through community. What role did sisterhood or support play in your transformation?
Um, for me, that's why let me digress. It's always good to have a community of like-minded believers. People that believe as you believe. How do I believe? I believe as Christ believes.
Mhm.
So how can two walk together unless we agree, right? So for
Mhm.
me, um community was important to me. And when I say community was important to me, and when I say community, I don't mean you have to have five, six, or seven people that are part of your community in that season, right? Because this was a season. This was a season, and you have those that are assigned to you. And because in a community of like minded believers, I knew somebody who is an expert in domestic violence. I knew somebody who had been through domestic violence. I knew somebody who could tell me from a personal perspective of what I need to be looking for, how I need to move, what I need to do, how which way I need to be walking on my journey.
Mhm.
And I thank God because that person in my community was you.
Mhm.
I was able to say, hey, This is what's going on. And like you said, you healed in a place of seclusion in a private place. But like within them last 5 or 6 months, I had like really shut down and shut out everybody. I really wasn't talking to anybody, because I was just trying to figure out what's going on. God, I don't want to drop the assignment. I don't want to abandon the assignment. But however, on this hand, I got this going on and that's going on. And now not only is it affecting me, it's affecting my kids.
Mhm.
And one thing for certain, and two things for sure, I don't want my kids locked up behind me because my kids will
Exactly.
be locked up behind a parent, which means now I'm jeopardizing
Mhm.
my kids, I'm jeopardizing my sons, I'm jeopardizing my daughter. She came up every, summer. So she had to be exposed to it. So it was a nightly conversation for 2 months. Mommy, I don't like this.
Mhm.
He ain't it. Come on, let's
Let it
leave him
go.
alone.
Yeah.
Look, he worse than daddy. Let's just, you know, so that having that community
Mhm.
while going through a healing process is so important to say, hey, we just gonna go on and let this go. We gonna go on and let God deal with it.
Mhm.
So between, like I said, you as my community and my kids, it's important. It's
Mhm.
important. So, for me, it was not on my own or alone thing, even though it was alone from the public standpoint. I still had my private community that was like, look, all right, maybe you need to go back and pray about that again. What did the Lord say? Turn them loose. Go on, turn them loose. Go on ahead. It is what it is. Change
Right.
the locks. Even though nobody had a key to my house, but like how you get these cameras and these listening devices up? Get somebody to come in and sweep the house. So
Right.
those things help me like, hey, did you remember to do this? Hey, did you remember to do that?
Mhm.
Courtney, did you remember to call them people and see could they come out and you know scan and see what's left in there? So a lot of that stuff helped me um not only mentally on a healing standpoint, but physically.
Mhm.
Because after that, I came across a story of a lady that was in the same situation I was. It was not physical abuse. It was more like attempted manipulation, narcissism, stalking, and things like that. The man had never put his hands on her, but when she finally left him, the man killed her outside of her job.
Mhm.
So when I just think back on stuff like that, like Lord, that could
Right.
have went another way. And I believe that the assignment that God grants us is never for us to end up being murdered by somebody.
Mhm.
So
I agree. Um, this Pastor Geneva said there's nothing wrong with processing in private because the isolation season can be an isolation season. I'm sorry, insulation season. God will insulate in isolation to protect, and when it is time, He will release us to the right community. So true.
that's good, Pastor Geneva. I always say in your greatest place of isolation is where you receive your greatest revelation.
Oh, good.
So
Yeah.
hands down to that.
I love that. Healing in community. So many women isolate because of pain, embarrassment, or spiritual guilt. But what you just shared shows us that healing is not meant to be done alone at all. That will set somebody free today. Now, I'm not saying that you don't have to isolate what's going on, but get a community or somebody like you said, a prayer partner, a sister, somebody who knows something about domestic violence. Like I said earlier, so many people don't even know it's so many types of domestic violence, and so many people just believe that it's just a man or woman putting their hands on you. It's not. It's so many different levels to it. So that was good.
Yes.
As a faith leader, how did God walk with you through your healing, even in the moments where you didn't feel strong?
Listen, so as a faith leader, um, it's so funny because I'm not extremely transparent to the like social media world, but I am so transparent to in my circle with my people in ministry.
Mhm.
So, and I just kind of chuckle because for me, like nothing is like really a secret.
Mhm.
Like, you can't. I'm shimmying, baby, because you can't embarrass me.
Mhm.
Because what you deem as tea, clock that is a testimony for me.
Come on.
So, bruh, you can't embarrass me. Say what? So I never really hid anything from anyone. And this goes back to the demographic that I work with. I was always right out. I let people see, hey, you see
Mhm.
this what's going on? I
Right.
even even at the church, even at the church, because one of the things for me is I always want to make sure that everybody who knows me is aware of exactly what's going on, so that if anything happened, y'all not like, oh, I don't have a clue, I don't know what's going on. No, everybody that's in my circle know what's going on. I move with wisdom
Mhm.
and knowledge. I don't believe in throwing people away, but I do believe that I am a priority and my safety is a priority and my mental health is a priority. So I never had to walk around sitting in moments that I did not feel strong.
Mhm.
So what you're saying, because I never had to be quote unquote strong. Why? Because I had community. I had community. So I had those around me who held my arms up.
Mhm.
So I didn't have to worry about, oh, I got to save face. And I never been one to worry about what somebody else think about me. I really don't care. Like whatever you think about me, baby, that's your issue, your problem is not mine.
Mhm.
I walk with integrity and loving kindness, and I do righteously by God's people. So I never walked around trying to make like I'm bigger than or I'm had this or I'm had that. No, ma'am. No, sir. I'm not trying to be I'm not trying to be strong. I have a whole community. We strong together. Many members, huh? One body. Everybody was like, okay, well, what you gonna do?
Right.
We gonna do whatever you gonna do. We gonna support wherever you gonna support. Do you think that's right? Okay, if this the assignment, what is God saying now? So what do we need to do to support you?
Right.
So that's why community is important. I didn't have to worry about being strong because I always had people around me to hold up my arms. Thank God for that, because I understand everybody don't have that. But that goes back to what you say. You have to open your mouth. You have to say something.
Mhm.
You have to say something. So
Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. You just spoke to every woman who thinks she has to be strong every day. Sometimes the
mm-mm,
strongest thing we can do is say, God, I'm tired. I need you.
that's it.
Thank you for making space for faith and honesty. Um, I just want to speak a little bit on that part, the part about being strong. I, in my last situation, isolated, shut down almost 2 years. And I don't think it was so much I cared about what people think. I think it was the hurt almost took me out because of the shock of everything that went down and how it happened, and how it carried on even after I tried to walk away. I was still in disbelief and was still questioning God like, what is this? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I done did this, done this twice already. What are we doing, Lord? And so it honestly almost took me out because I was just like in my ass. I just knew this person was perfect. Like he couldn't do no wrong. He was doing everything perfect in my ass, and I was so bland with so bland. And when the red flags were like jumping up, I'm like, oh, he can work on that. It ain't that bad, right? Knowing I know better, right? Or just, okay, now this is it because after this ain't no more. So we gonna have to make it work or try to force it to work. or trying to make sure we gonna be a not perfect, but a
Yeah,
together
yeah.
marriage or couple or whatever you want to call it. But it was probably the
That's
worst thing
important.
I've ever done with trying to fix and stay. But I just thank God, man, for strength to be strong, to be able to put my foot down and say, hey, no, that's something that I don't accept. Told you that from day one. You didn't believe me. I'm out of here.
Oh yeah. Oh
You know,
yeah. Yeah. That
it's time for me to go. So
I'm
thank
with you.
God for
I'm
that.
with you. I'm with you because I'm not an arguer. That was my first thing was like, okay, my deal breakers are not normal deal breakers. They're not the deal breakers that most women have. Most women think I'm real weird, but I'm okay with that too. Like deal breakers for me are no integrity,
That ain't weird.
trash character,
That's yeah.
no morale, unethical.
I
Those
think
are deal
everybody do
breakers
that. Well, that
for
should
me.
be everybody, not just you. And
Most people like if you ain't got this amount of money, like I'm not pressed about your money. I got my own. That's always been my thing. I could buy my own bag. I could buy my own truck. I
Mhm.
could buy my own house. I
Right.
I got my own, so that's not. I'm not. But when your integrity is not good, it's so. What's important to me is who are you when no one is looking,
That part.
and so that's where a lot of our issues stemmed from
Ooh,
about him wanting to put up a farce for
yes.
people.
Mhm.
That was a big thing. They we need to put up a united front. They need to see us like this. They need to see us like that. And I'm the total opposite. I don't care what them people think. I do
Right.
not care what them people think. What I care is about what you think and what I think. What they think don't
That's
matter to
all
me. I'm not with them. I'm with you.
right.
And so that wasn't important in
Mm,
my relationship. What was important is what do the people think? How do the people see us? How do they view us? And
mm.
then it was always a competition in the relationship. Sir, I do not want to be in competition with you.
We're not. We're not
like,
supposed to be. What?
like
Oh Lord. But hey, we thank you, Lord. Freedom.
thank you, Lord. Look, millions didn't make it, but I'm one of the
Yeah,
ones that
freedom.
did. I got up.
So,
I got up out of
yeah,
that. Hallelujah.
yeah. Okay. Domestic violence often leaves spiritual wounds. So
That's
understand
good.
that. What scriptures, prayers, or spiritual practices help you rise again?
One of the scriptures that I stick to, where's two? Okay, let me pick up piggyback. It's three. I'm a Proverbs girl. I'm a book of Proverbs girl. Um, Trusting in the Lord with all of my heart and leaning not to my own understanding and allowing Him to direct my path, allowing Him to direct the way,
Mhm.
right? Allowing Him to do it. That's number one. Number two is this is really true. This is really true. We cannot be anxious for anything. We cannot be anxious for anything, but through prayer and supplication, we have to allow our requests to be made known.
Yes.
We have to make sure that we're guarding our hearts. I
Mhm.
promise He will grant you the peace that surpasses all understanding. And I have two favorite scriptures. One of them is the Jeremiah 29:11. God knows the plans that He has for Courtney.
Mhm.
He knows. He declared those plans into Himself. And His plans was and is to prosper me and not to harm me, to give me hope and an expected end. So I expect the great, regardless as to what it looked like and what it looked like. I expect the great, and I expect the great knowing that all things are working together for who? My good,
But yes.
because I love
Say
the Lord. And yes, it's me, Courtney. I'm called according to His purpose. I don't care what you think. I know I'm called according to His purpose. So it has to all things, even in this, even
Mhm.
in that, even in this, it has to work together for my good. It's
Yes.
too.
No, that's
So I live by that word. It has to. I'm setting an expectation. Because one thing for sure and two things for certain. Dr. Shalonda, Dr. Courtney is a wife. Do you hear me?
That's right.
And Dr. Courtney is not just
You
a
see it
wife, she
all
is a good wife. She
the time.
is a godly wife. Baby, I am the favor. I
Come on.
am the favor. Listen,
Right.
people look at me and they be like, oh, she's so this, she's so that. But I'm a wife. God, one of
Right.
my birthing, God birthed me to be a wife. I know how to be a wife.
Mhm.
You know, I am a leader, but I know how to follow. I know, and this is one of the things. You ain't submissive, baby. Give me something to submit to.
Get baby. They don't want to hear
Like,
that.
give me something to submit to. I
That's
can't
a
sit
whole
down. I
nother
cannot
podcast.
sit down in my femininity because you will not stand up in your masculinity.
Ooh,
Huh?
yes. Yes.
Give me
So
something to submit to. I'm supposed to follow you. And if I can't follow you to a BP gas station, where can I follow you?
so true. Come on, since we got to move on. We got to go.
Because
All
you know
right.
I act up.
So that was powerful because spiritual damage is so real and we don't talk about it enough. Those scriptures, prayers, and tools you just share will help women rebuild not just emotionally, but spiritually as well. All right, moving right along. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Okay. On this one, I'm a time you because we got to get on up out of here. We got 8 minutes, and I got a couple more things to ask you. Okay.
Let's go.
All right. Purpose is a big part of your ministry. How did pain guide you towards purpose instead of keeping you bound to your past?
Um, I put up a post on social media the other day, and it was a post I spoke about trauma. I said trauma is going to have you do either one or two things. It's either one, trauma is going to make you want to see everybody go through what you went through, or trauma is going to two, make it you don't want to see nobody go through what you had to go through.
That
And
part.
for me, it was number two.
Yes.
My trauma, I couldn't allow it to be to the detriment of me, if that
Mm,
makes sense. I don't want to see nobody go through anything that I have been through. Relationships, sisterhoods, friendships, with parents, with business partners, on jobs,
mhm,
right? So that was the thing for me that drove me. Um, Not wanting the purpose of saying, hey, sis,
mm,
you ain't got to do it alone.
mm,
You ain't got to fight alone. You ain't got to stand alone. You ain't got to cry alone. You ain't got to suffer alone. You don't have to do it alone. That purpose part in getting you to your purpose means I'm in my purpose by helping you get to your purpose, that you don't have to do it alone. Not
mhm.
wanting to see somebody else go through everything that I've been through. Granted, we all got to go through some stuff though.
Yeah, we
That's it.
do. Wow, turning pain into purpose. That's the message right there. You didn't just heal, you assigned meaning to what you went through. That's where ministry is birthed. And that's why your voice is so needed today.
Thank you.
For the women watching today who feel stuck, ashamed, or afraid to begin again, what truth do they need to hear right now?
That it's okay to not be okay. Sis,
Mm,
it's okay to not be okay. Sis, it's okay to not have the answers. Sis, it's okay to be afraid. Sis, it's okay to be scared. Sis, it's okay to be broken.
mm,
Sis, it's okay. Begin by acknowledging where you are in your process, because your journey is yours and yours alone. It's uniquely orchestrated for you and only you. So, wherever you are in that process, whether you're fearful of starting over, you're scared, admit it.
mm,
Admit it. I'm afraid. I'm not okay. Let's start right there. And if we could start right there in that place that's called truth and stand in accountability to our truth where we currently are, then you can begin to heal and you can begin to grow. To thine own self be true.
Mhm.
Acknowledge it. Wherever you are, acknowledge where you are and allow somebody to help you again so that you don't have to do it alone.
Mhm.
So let's just start right there. You cool? No, I ain't cool. All right, that's cool that you ain't cool. What you feeling like? Let's start right there.
Yes. Thank you for speaking to that woman directly. The one who's watching silently, scared, but hopeful. Your words weren't just advice, they were freedom keys. Somebody's breakthrough is tied to what you just said.
Amen.
Man, if you could speak directly to the woman who is finally ready to walk into freedom, but just needs one last push of courage, what would you tell her today?
Go. Go. Go.
Okay. Yeah.
That's it. That's the push. Go. Go. Green.
Yeah.
Green. Pass red. Don't stop. Go. Seriously. Because what you think would never happen to you, that's why I say, don't you never say never. Or
Mhm.
don't you never say what you ain't gonna do. Or what
Yeah.
would never happen to go. Go. Because if you hear this and you're listening and you need that last push, that last thrust, if you need to be propelled, it's go. Go time. And I know people think that this is cliche. Millions didn't make it. But sis, you're one of the ones that did.
Yeah.
Live. Stay with us on this side until it's your time. Go. Go. Because just one more night, one more minute, one more second cannot be promised to you at the hands of the abuser. Go.
Yes.
Go. Even if you have to pick up and leave everything, go. You still got your life. You still got your breath. You didn't take an L for a lose. You took an L for a learn because it's a win when you go. When you go and you ain't got nothing but your clothes on your back and your baby hand in your hand, go. You just won.
Mhm.
Just go. Go. Don't even go. Because if you got to think about it, that means you need to go.
Yep.
That's it. Go, Geo.
I know that.
Go.
That's a Tina Turner movie. It's over. It's time to go. I know that's right. Woo! That was powerful. Dr. Courtney, that right there was the push someone needed. Thank you for pouring from such a real, healed place. I know every woman listening felt that in her spirit. I just want to say thank you so much because I know this recording or live it'll be on Facebook and other platforms that I have it going to, and people will be able to go back and watch it over and over and over. And I'm gonna keep sharing it. I may even do like a run back for the next couple of weeks from all three shows because from Dasman, Pastor Geneva, and you all three of you all gave some really good advice, really good words, really good scriptures. And I just wanted to do what the Lord told me to do for Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And one of the reasons is because it's not recognized the way it needs to be recognized. Yes, we wear pink in October for breast cancer. And I'm not knocking breast cancer awareness because I also am an advocate for that as well. But I push domestic violence awareness because we are too silent about it.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it's just a time where, as women who are advocates, victors, were able to make it out, survive, and still alive today, we all need to take a stand and speak out. We all need to take a stand to do awareness, not just in October, but all year round, and take
Yes.
time out to minister, bless another woman, help another woman, become a part of another woman's community, become a real sister, not somebody that she can't trust. Or I will say men too, because I don't want to leave the men out. But don't
Yes.
ever be a person that somebody is going through this and you supposed to be real with no integrity and you telling their business or you moving on instead of praying for them, you taking the business somewhere else, you talking about they stupid, you talking about why she ain't leave. Don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have had them shoes on your feet and you have to walk through that storm. I will
Come
advise
on.
to leave that alone because
Leave
what
it
you
alone.
cannot do is speak on another person that's going through it and think it's okay because you never know what may happen to you. Don't
That
ever
part.
never go through it either because once
That's
again,
right.
it's not just about the physical, okay? And a lot of times we think it is, but it's not.
It's not.
Thank everybody for joining the live today. Oh my God, there's so many comments. I'm out of time, y'all. I can't read them all, but go back and take some time to read them. Thank you, everybody that got on. I just want to say thank you, Dr. Courtney, for your courage, your transparency, and your truth. Your voice is a reminder that freedom is not just possible, it is promised. And every woman watching today has the power to rise. This is our last session of our lab of She Heals, She Rises. Woo! For the month of October. I am so blessed to have all of you to join us for the month of domestic violence awareness. Please stay tuned to all of our pages. We do have some more things coming up in the future, coming real soon under She Heals, She Rises. So if you were on the labs for the last 4 weeks, continue to follow us. You will see things drop. And everybody have a blessed day. Love you all with the love of Jesus Christ. Love you, sis. Love y'all
Love
for
you.
getting on, for the comments, the sharing, taking time out to be with us today. God bless y'all. Bye.